Hello, this is Debra Cohen. I am so happy that you're with me today, either live or in the archives. This is 2023. We're in MLK weekend. It's a very sacred time for all people and a good time to examine our thoughts. So today's topic is what's in your thoughts and can they be changed? So let's dig in after this brief intro.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharei, Malachi Elyon. Mimelech Malkei Hamlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem LaShalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon.
And again, this is Debra Cohen. And I broadcast every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So here we are. We're talking about our thoughts. And I believe the chat box is open. So if you want to comment during the broadcast when it's live, I should be able to see the chat and can answer you. So let's talk about a great book that I highly recommend for all people that are looking to make themselves better. And it is possible at any age. There is this myth that I've heard many times as a senior citizen that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And that is so not true, but it's been drilled into the heads of people, at least in the United States, so that when you get to be my age, you're supposed to just fall apart, I guess, or become a veg, or sit in your rocking chair and wait for the cows to come home. But this is 2023, and science is always improving and revealing truths to us that the brain is not fixed with an IQ that you acquired at birth that cannot be improved upon. That's a bunch of bunk. And you can improve your intelligence factor at any age. So don't bow down to the lies. If you want to know in detail what I'm talking about, then please invest your money in this book by Charlie Harary. It's called Unlocking Greatness. I'm on my second time around reading this because they do say that the average brain takes 3 repetitions to learn something new. And there's also something out there that says if you want to change a behavior, you have to implement the new behavior every day for 21 days before it actually becomes a part of who you are. So, not that I'm really into numbers, but it's just to let you know that not everybody gets it right the first time. And learning is where we make mistakes. So never beat up on yourself like I used to for making mistakes. And of course, that was drilled into my head by my mother. And when she passed away, God rest her soul, the only thing she left me was a manila envelope with something in it. When my mother passed away, what do you think she left me? A bunch of my report cards from public school. And no note, no letter, nothing, because we were estranged. Long story. But this is what she left me, is just a bunch of my report cards. As if my value is based on a grade, doing 100% correct. Maybe your mother or father was like that. And she did save this photocopy of me when I was in a band. When I got it, that's me. Let's see. This is me in the 80s. I don't know if you can see it. I'm having a hard time here. Rock and roll band called Harbinger. And there I am, this chick that had a fascination with Debra Harary, aka Blondie. So I wanted to be the next Blondie. And my mother acknowledged at least that part of me, although she was really disappointed when I pulled out of nursing school at Framingham Union College to become a nurse. She wanted me to be a nurse because she said I could, always learn to love a man with money, so she wanted me to marry a doctor. But I could, that wasn't me. So 2 weeks before I had enrolled and everything, 2 weeks before college started, I pulled out and moved to Boston and went to Jeffrey and Penny First's School of Contemporary Music. I joined a rock band, and the rest is history in the making. So here we are, and I'm discovering that in order for all of us to pursue greatness, we need to be educated. And unfortunately, a lot of these teachings that you can read in Charlie Harary's book, Unlocking Greatness, are not taught in the school systems in the formative years of a child. So I'm just sharing this with you, especially if you're parents and you want your children to excel. There's a lot of wisdom in this book. I highly recommend it for you. And I'm going to share an excerpt right now from this book about how we learn. We already knew that our brains were incredibly powerful machines. Back when we thought our brains were fixed, meaning you get the IQ you were born with is all you get, that which is false. But back then in the 50s or 60s, that's what they thought. The brain is made up of approximately 100 billion neurons. Each neuron has somewhere between 1,000 and 10,000 synapses, which are the connections between the brain cells, equaling about 1 quadrillion synapses. Those neurons, connected by synapses, are joined into vast networks that process low-level electrical currents that fly through our heads at the speed of up to 200 miles per hour. What we didn't know until very recently was that our thoughts have the power to literally change the physical structure of our brains. This isn't just new scientific ground for academics to ponder at MIT or Columbia University. This is the sort of stuff that should constantly be making headlines. And in the textbooks, I'll say, in all schools. We're on the forefront of an entirely new understanding of life here. And it's exciting in 2023. It's the next frontier of scientific breakthrough, and it will change the way we see ourselves and each other. The discussion of, quote, neuroplasticity, end quote, repeat it after me, neuroplasticity, is so frequent in my household that my kids, says Charlie Harary, roll their eyes at me before I even utter the word. They know when I'm going to say it because I say it all the time. Anyone who listens to my speeches or radio show has heard the word 1,000 times too. I can vouch for that. But the fact is, the broader population is not aware of this field yet and has no clue about the power it holds to change our lives. To be living at the forefront of the understanding of neuroplasticity is as big as living at the dawn of a nationwide railroad system before anyone laid down a single track. It changes everything. So I would like to tell you that this is an excerpt from Charlie Harary's book. Highly encourage you to get his book, Unlocking Greatness, and learn about the brain, which is so flexible that it can create new neural pathways to bypass missing nerves. Our normal, quote, nervous system has volumes of information that pass through it in a particular way. Should there be a block or a defect or some inability for the brain to get the information, as it typically does, We used to assume in the past that such a breakdown caused a permanent loss of that functionality. Victims of strokes, head injuries, and birth defects were conditioned to live within their limitations. Are you listening? But neuroplasticity has changed all that. For such victims today, all hope is not lost. The brain has a capacity to rewire that information through a different route and still maintain some part of that functionality. Not unlike the way a modern GPS mapping program can give a driver multiple routes to reach a destination. And I'm a user of Waze, so I know if I miss a turn, it will automatically reroute where I'm supposed to be going and still get me there, but a different way. So for you folks that have had a stroke or head injury and you think you're stuck with that defect or limitation, that's old school thinking. Again, I'm going to tell you, get this book, Unlocking Greatness by Charlie Harary, and learn the truth about the wonders and healing power of our amazing brains. And so in closing, I would like to share a song that I have written in 2020 called Stronger, making a declaration this year in 2023 to be better and greater than we've been in the past. No more hard luck Harry. Okay, no more grinding the wheel. What you think also has a lot to do with who you are, and that's another chapter in this book, Unlocking Greatness. But let us make a declaration that we will learn more about ourselves individually and collectively to be better this year, to eliminate negative, stinking thinking, to eliminate the excuse that I was born that way, to eliminate the lie that my IQ is not as good as your IQ. That's a lie. That's all incorrect information. And let us be stronger today. Desire to be greater. Put good thoughts in your head. And I know it's hard with today's entertainment in the United States. It's a bunch of garbage, most of it. You really have to, my husband and I have to sift through the media to find something worth watching. And it's not easy to find. So I wish TV Land would do things and the media would do more things to feed our brains with good thoughts. So while we wait for that to happen, it takes a village, right? So what are you doing this year in 2023 to make this world a better place? This is one of my attempts this year. So let me get my screen ready as I sing along with the lyrics if you know the song. And if you don't know my music, I hope that you would explore my music that I write and record and release is more like a journal of my journey in this life. And hopefully in my older songs, you can see the transformation because God says we are changed, B'Tselem Elohim, into the image of God. But it doesn't happen snap like that. We have to put good thoughts into our heads and read good things, preferably the Bible or the teachings of our sages. And remember, if somebody says something unkind to you, one of the best expressions that I got when going through my own counseling for healing is that hurt people hurt people, healed people heal people. So if somebody's being nasty to you, the first thing you have to do is step back and think, there's something going on in that person that's not quite right, and they don't realize that their words are hurtful. So it's kind of hard to address somebody when they are saying something nasty. Sometimes you have to just change your friends or, in my case, part of my family. You can't change your family, but you don't have to be with them if they're toxic. And you have to protect yourself. If your thoughts inside are not loving, then how can you expect to be a loving person? It's that simple. There is counseling for people to be healed and continue the healing process through this life. And if you're meeting somebody for the first time, I'll say this is one of my pet peeves. Meeting somebody for the very first time, if you start unloading about all of your problems, chances are you're not going to have many friends, or if you do, they're going to be toxic like you. So if you have a need and you're meeting somebody new, please get counseling. Don't take advantage of people. Okay, so, hey, Marty's in the chat room. I'm sorry, I got on a roll talking. He's ready to sing with me, so let's go for it, okay? Thank you for tuning in.
I walked alone in this land I was given as a child fatherless, looking for direction. I was schooled in distress, placed in a family, wanted love and success, searching for the path my father made just for me, asking the world for things that cannot set me free, way down in bondage where the drowning sea overtakes me when my eyes fall back on me. And I am getting so much stronger by my Father. He will hand me stand in times of trouble. He will show me great and mighty things, for He is Lord. He is Lord. Picked up my Bible all the time, sitting there, read it for myself and heard the answer to my prayer. Truth had been hidden by this world, steeped in sin. My eyes now open, feel His love pouring in, and I am getting so much stronger by my Father. He will help me stand in times of trouble. He will show me great and mighty things, for He is Lord. He is Lord. And I am getting so much stronger by my Father. He will help me stand in times of trouble. He will show me great and mighty things, for He is Lord. He is Lord. He is Lord. He is
Oh, He's Lord. I pray that you have a relationship with God, and if you don't, simply get yourself in a quiet place if you can, even if it's in your car. And focus. Try to focus on what it is you're asking and just ask God, even if it's just one word, help. Help. Help me to find you. Help me. And I know because that's what I did years ago, decades ago, when I was hurting. So be healed this year in 2023. And share this message with somebody maybe that you don't know how to help them. Maybe you're not able to help them, but you can lead them to Charlie Harary's book by sharing this video. It'll be on twitch.tv/Debra Cohen Music, or I will post it on my podcast, A Story and a Song, which you can find posted online and on Spotify. So thank you very much for being here today, and spread the good news with others for this year, 2023.